This is the original Zhiyun Fiveray M40, a small, powerful video light you can fit in your pocket. I've used it for a lot of things and showed how in a number of videos, like hand-holding one of them as my light source while I was filming Kara at a farmer's market with my little VX981 camcorder, or when I figured out how to use 3 of them at the same time while walking around with a camera, and how amazing the light looked with this setup. This is without and this is with. For powerful indoor video lighting that fits in your pocket, these are great. Well, now they just came out with a new M40 SE, almost twice as bright, weighs less, runs longer, much quieter, and believe it or not, it's even cheaper. We'll compare the two today and even take a couple of the new ones outside to see if they make any difference on a bright sunny day. A number of people have been asking what I think of the new Zhiyun Fiveray M40 SE, because I have 4 of the original M40s, because people are saying it's better and brighter and all that. You know how nervous a waitress is when she asks you to please put your pants on because other people in the restaurant are complaining? Well, I wasn't really that nervous, but I figured these things were, because I ordered 2 of these things, I figured, maybe it's 5% brighter. It's 40 watts. I mean, how much different can it be? It's like the same product. They're just trying to make more money off a rebranding of, whatever. So I got 2 of them, and I got to tell you, I'm pretty surprised. I am surprised. And Zhiyun did not send me these. They don't even know I'm making this. They didn't even contact me. So I just got these on my own, and so this is my view. So here's what it looks like. This is the original one here. It's the M40 original, 40 watts. It costs $100. And you can see the LEDs right here. And this is the new one. This is the new Zhiyun M40 SE. And they're pretty much the same exact size. But the first thing you notice is how much lighter this is. This is considerably lighter. The original one is 11.6 ounces. The new one is 8.8 ounces. So 325 grams, 245 grams. So it's considerably lighter, which I really like. This one feels heavy. It feels heavy in my hands. This one feels light. I like that. Now, some of you might wonder if these things are bright enough to light yourself up outside in a sunny day. Well, no, you can't really compete with the sun with these things. Like if my face was in shade, it would not match the amount of light that the sun would give. But there is a way to do this, like I said in a previous video, I'll show you in a second. But right now, I'm lighting my face up with a reflector, big giant reflector. So if you are facing in the direction where the sun is hitting you this way, and the background is lit up by the sun, then you need something as powerful as a reflector to light up your face. These things are no way going to do anything like that. The way you light up your face to when you're outside with these is you face away from the sun. All right, so here I am facing away from the light. My face is in shade, and this is what it looks like when I have the lights on. So it does add a little bit of light, especially when you're in the shade. So you expose to the background, and then your face is also exposed to the background, but then you add light to it, and it should look better than if you didn't have light. All right, so I'm covering up the lights right now, and now they're on. So you can see a difference. It's a little bit of a difference because we're exposing for the shade. If I was turned around the other way, facing the sun, these lights would never match the sun, and you wouldn't see any difference. It wouldn't be bright enough. So for weaker lights like this, you always face away from the sun and expose for the shade. By the way, I'm recording this shot with my favorite little Sony A5100 with a Sigma 56 with a polarizing filter, for those of you who want to know, because I love that little camera. It's great. And the behind the scenes with Kara back there is a RX100 Mark VII pocket camera. Matter of fact, let's go way back with that pocket camera and do a telephoto shot. All right, so here is the RX100 zoomed all the way to telephoto, and there's no lights on. This is just normal lighting. The sun is hitting half my face, the other half's in shade. Notice the darkness of the shade side. Now I have both lights on this side, but they're off. I'm going to turn on one light here. And this is what it looks like with one of these lights aiming at my face. Barely any difference at all. So now I'm going to turn on 2 lights, and it should be better. I mean, it's still not spectacular, but you know, look at the difference between the sun on this side and 2 of these 40-watt lights hitting me from this side. I moved a little bit, so now I'm totally in shade. All right, so now I'm going to bring in these lights and put one on each side. So instead of having both on one side, I'm going to have both on the one on each side. This is what it looks like. I mean, I don't know, it's not spectacular, but it's a little better than having nothing at all, which is this. This is nothing at all. This is with lights. There you go. I'm just looking for cheap reasons to come out here and play around in nature. The original one is still going for $100, so it's got a lot of retention value. That means people like this. The new one is coming in at $80 as of today. So this is $20 cheaper. The original one, you can see the original LEDs just bare right there with a little diffuser over it. Now the new one, the LEDs have each LED has a little lens over it to focus the beam and make it more intense. That means this thing should be brighter. The original one, for example, here I had a reading of 2.08. The new one is 4.07. So that's almost an entire stop brighter than the original one. Now, of course, the reason for that is because the light is more focused into a more concentrated beam. I personally don't need to spread the light all over the entire room, wasting all that light. I want to concentrate most of my light into a central area because I usually use things to just film me, one person. So for me, this thing is more suited for what I do. These are both bicolor. This one, from my measurements with the spectrometer, goes from 2600 to 6100. The new SE goes from 2700 to 8100. So this has a broader range. It goes from warm to a lot bluer on the other end. The thing I hated the most about the original one, other than being really heavy, is it's loud. It's got a loud fan. And the newer one has got a much quieter fan. Very, very quiet. You can barely hear it. Even when it's running hot and it's been running for 20 minutes. And that brings me to the next thing. The original one runs for 31 minutes, and after a while, it starts getting dimmer and dimmer as it goes. It just starts losing its oomph. The new one goes for 51 minutes and it stays almost at 100% brightness the whole time. So they got it lighter and it goes longer. So that's really cool. So half hour, almost an hour. Now, one of the things I really like about the original one, which I wish they would have kept, is I really like this bracket here, which swings like that. It has a 1/4-20 here, so you can mount it like that, or it has a 1/4-20 here, so you can mount it like that, which is really cool. And you can swivel it in any direction, this way or this way, which is really cool. And look how compact that is. I really love this. This one doesn't have that. It just has a 1/4-20 on the bottom, not even on the side. And they give you a ball head that you can screw on the bottom like this. It's old school. I mean, it works, but this is not as elegant as that. I wish they would bring this back. And it comes with 2 diffusion panels. One is hard plastic and one is soft silicone. So the purpose of this is what? To soften the shadows, give you a smoother, glamorous look? Let's find out. All right, so here we have the new M40 SE. Here's a shadow that it's creating on the wall. There's only like 2 inches between the device and the shadows. This is bare light. Let's put on the hard plastic diffuser on here and behold the shadow. How much softer is that really? Is that really worth it? Because these things really cut down the light level. I mean, you're cutting the light in half. I don't think that's a worthy thing. And now the next one up, the silicone cover. Let's see what that one's like, shall we? All right, and here's the silicone cover. That shadow is maybe a tiny bit softer, but it's still a pretty hard shadow. The way you get soft shadows is you make your light source bigger. You don't just put diffusion over a small light source. That doesn't really do much. As I have shown in previous videos, you need a bigger diffusion source, which makes your light source bigger, and that makes your shadows softer. Look at that. It's the same light, but you need to make it a bigger surface area that's lighting up your subject to get soft shadows. All these things do is cut down your light level. They really don't. That's not a soft shadow. And neither is that. I laugh when I see people put those little silicone domes over their flash and I think they're getting soft diffused light over their subject. Yeah, you're lighting up the whole room, but you're not causing softer shadows on the person unless it's bouncing off the walls and stuff. But the actual light coming off the light is not going to be softer just because you have a little piece of silicone over your tiny light source. So these things, to me, are worthless. Now, I do want to point out this. If we're talking about shadows on your face, like the shadow that your nose is casting on the side of your face here, then this distance here is what matters. You're only talking about an inch or two, in which case, how soft is the shadow of your nose going to cast on your face, which is where this comes in. Not very much. Now, if you have this further from the wall, like this, and you're dealing with other things of casting shadows, look at how soft, this is not a hard shadow anymore. It's actually quite diffused. The only problem is you're starting to see this grid pattern from the individual lenses that are caused by that. And of course, if you use diffusion over that, then that goes away, but your light level is cut down dramatically, a lot. And this thing's maxed out right now. So is the upgrade worth it? Well, it depends what you use it for. If you want to have a soft light that lights up a wider area, then the original one was probably better for you. If you want the most amount of light off of the smallest, most lightweight light possible, then like me, that's what I like, then this one is more for someone like that, which would be me. So, but I really wish the new ones would have this thing here. That is just so cool. But anyway, yeah, I really like the lightweight. It's more brighter. It's cheaper. I just wish it had a little readout on it that told you what the color temperature was. Even the little small rig pocket flashlight has one of those. And the little Zhiyun G60 has that. I mean, come on, put that on there. Oh, people are going to ask about the CRI, the SSI. Well, the original one has an R9, which is the red value for skin tones of 94.7, and the new one is 94.1. And SSI, the original one is 71, the new one is 69. Now, these are my readings that I got from Spectrometer, but your eye is not going to see the difference. It really isn't. I mean, people are so nitpicky about 0.1, 0.3, percent decimal or whatever, like that's for nerd stuff. That's not what people actually see in the real world. So this is more than good enough. So I'm pretty happy with it. All right, so the biggest downsides of this one is loud fan, really loud fan, and it's heavy. Lightweight, can barely hear it running. Brighter, consider almost a stop brighter. And one stop, by the way, means twice as much light, which means this one is almost twice as bright as this one. So it's more lightweight, it's almost twice as bright, and it's $20 cheaper. So for most of you, well, that's a done deal right there, huh? So I'm going to give 3 of the original ones away at marcuspicks.giveawayenter.com. And by the way, the winner of the box of V-mount and NP batteries is EZ Chang of Alexandria, Virginia. Congratulations. That's a cool name. You know how when you pick your nose with a steak knife and you still have some mustard on there and then you're all embarrassed and stuff? Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not embarrassed saying I have some of the old ones. I still like the new one. And so I just like stuff like this. That's just me. I love it. I love small, cheap plastic stuff from China. I'm not embarrassed to say that. I like toys. These are toys. It's fun. They're portable. And that's that. So Zhiyun, if you're listening, please bring this thing back again. This is the coolest thing about the M40. All right, I've said my bit. I'll see you next video. Until then, bye.